Hi there, this is Hermie and Permium. If you like that, you're going to love the fact check with Miss Monica.
Okay, I have an update. Something wild happened yesterday.
Oh my goodness. After we worked?
Mm-hmm. I went somewhere. I won't say where.
Okay.
I went somewhere and I basically witnessed this person. I don't know. I thought he was just very, very, very drunk.
Uh-huh.
But then I was told that maybe he was on like a drug by someone who could tell.
Okay.
And it was so scary. Like, he was like falling. This other girl was like, that was really scary. Seen this person there before. And I do sometimes wonder in general, like,
what's happening?
yeah, is this person okay? But nothing has ever been this extreme. And it was really, really crazy.
Were they vocally
yeah.
obnoxious?
I mean, they were, yes.
What kind of stuff were they saying?
I mean, they were on the phone and kind of just screaming on the phone, but just like stumbling around the whole place and falling down. Like it was...
That's not like an atmosphere where people are acting.
What time of day?
Exactly. The day after we recorded. So
Okay,
like
so
3:30.
on a Tuesday.
4, yeah.
Oh, boy.
It was really scary. And then my friend went up and said to the manager, just, hey, you need to keep an eye on this person. Really doesn't seem okay.
Yeah.
And the manager said, do you know who he is?
And then what does that, though, mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That to me is what I've just been sitting with. Like, so, and obviously I can't give too many details, but this is a person that I don't want to lose, I guess, as a client. Maybe.
Was that the subtext? Or was the subtext like, that's so-and-so, they're a fuck up?
Oh, no. I don't think it was that.
Okay, because that's a vibe where we're from, where you'd go, oh, that's Mike. He's a lush.
Just
he's a
look the other way.
Right.
Yeah, let him do his thing.
But that would be at like a certain type of bar or something. You could do that, but not here.
A nice place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was scary to me. It was scary to another guest. Like it was causing concern. And so this idea that like, do you know who that is, was very upsetting to me because I was like, so you're going to let him die?
Right.
Because you don't want to say anything?
Yeah.
It was really scary. And then my friend was like, I don't care who it is. I mean, he knew who it was, but he was like, I don't care who it is.
I also
People
know who
are
your friend
scared.
is. It's very obvious.
I know. I know. But I was really glad he said that.
Yeah. But I think it does point out no one needs to be sympathetic to an addict. They don't need to be sympathetic to anyone famous. They don't need to be sympathetic to someone with means. But I will argue it can be harder for those people to get sober because they don't have the consequences. There's so many consequences that would normally make you reevaluate. And like losing friendships, well, people with status and means can be the people won't
push back.
They won't abandon them because they want to be a part of the status.
I know.
Yeah, places will put up with them because of whatever. And I do wonder sometimes. I worked with a famous, super talented dude who was so fucked up on this movie. And I hated him at one point in the movie. And then, he did this fucking thing where he made me laugh so hard. He's so powerful.
Yeah.
He made me laugh so fucking hard. He was assigned a cop on set. He had to have a cop with him on set.
God.
And so he was running through this store and the police officer was chasing him and he was screaming, chase me, chase me.
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah.
It took
and I was like, I had been just seething about this person for like 3 weeks. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, this is the fucking funniest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And it really disarmed me. And I was like, yeah, good luck to him getting sober because he has a superpower. He can win you back immediately.
I know. I feel really freaked out by it.
Yeah.
I bet you weren't the only one.
You do get into your personal stuff. Which is like addict stuff is very scary to you and for good reason.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's addict, but it's more like this deeper, that person might die.
Right.
And I might see it, or I might have like been not a part of it, but kind of a part of it.
Should have sounded the alarm.
Yeah. It reminds me of when I was in high school and I went to the mall with Callie and we saw this like weird thing happen where this woman was wheeling her husband in a wheelchair, but then like something was happening with the woman and the guy got out and the woman got in the wheelchair and it was like
they switched.
Yeah, they had to switch. And like I didn't know if she was having a heart attack. And of course, like, the people were running out of the stores to like help. And I thought about I still have that memory and I thought about it for weeks. Like I could not it's almost OCD.
Yeah,
like it becomes an obsession.
Right, you just can't stop thinking about it. It keeps popping up into your head.
Yeah.
I don't know why that wheelchair fiasco did remind me of, do you remember we were working in New York and we were at the Carlisle Hotel?
I'll be there in a couple days.
And we would have to walk every day to the parking garage. And there was this dude with cerebral palsy.
Oh, yeah.
And he like, was shuffling down the street and it was like so heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And really bad. And this woman gave him money. And then the woman turned the corner and then he started walking normal.
No.
And I threw my coffee. Do you remember I threw my coffee at him?
He threw a fucking coffee at him. We were going to beat the shit out of him.
You sick motherfucker. That is so low.
Yeah.
It was a show like you had never seen before.
You'd want to cry when you saw this guy. I'm like, at the beginning, I'm like, I'm probably going to give this guy $1.
Yeah.
Nope, I'm going the other way.
Oh my God.
23 and I'm at you deceptive.
What if the money actually cured? You don't know.
Oh, fuck.
You didn't think about that.
I didn't think about it. It is possible that he was just $5 away from a cure.
Yeah, you never know.
I had a similar, when I had my bar, there was crazy situations at my bar, so it wasn't this place and it wasn't a nice place, but things still could get escalated to that point where I'd have to make the decision and not a famous person spending a bunch of money and bringing all of his people, but like a drug dealer that was responsible for a lot of money being thrown around in there and this and that. And then thought he fucking ran the place. And
like a whale at a casino.
Yeah, but then once everyone is so uncomfortable in the situation, you can only let it go so much. And you have guess what? They come back after you kick them out.
Right.
But enough's enough. When you have that business, you gotta fucking take a stand.
Exactly. I mean, that's
buddy, you're driving away.
Yeah, you got
everyone else.
The trade-off. When do I lose money after this person's here?
Yeah.
What's the line that you draw at a bar or something? Because people are there a little fucked up. I mean, that's the point of the place, know, so it's tricky.
Highly regional though. I've rarely have I seen anyone in LA at a bar or a club that is like asleep on a table, throwing up on the dance floor.
Yeah.
Right? That is much more common in Michigan, and I can say also Chicago. Like, if you go out in Chicago, you see people, falling through tables, fucking falling out of the...
too. Yeah.
I think it's really, regionally cultural.
It also it depends on the place itself. Also, what do? You tell them to leave, and what if they drive home?
Well... There's only so much you can do.
That's my question. What do you
just
do?
Go, if they're on a motorcycle, you go, wear a helmet.
Yeah. Dumbass.
Ride fast, but ride safe.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Anyway.
As fast as you can.
Yeah. Yeah, we're on such opposite ends of the spectrum with our comfort level with that stuff.
Yeah.
Just, I think, from exposure.
Yeah, probably. I mean, my friend didn't feel the way I felt. He wasn't worried. Like, he wasn't like, that person's going to die like I was.
Right.
He was more like, this is an unacceptable thing to be happening at this establishment.
I love all the little adventures you and Jess get into, I gotta say. I really do, because there was the episode with someone saying to Anna, someone's so gay.
Oh, yeah.
And then Jess had to get involved, but he didn't.
Get involved enough.
But then he does.
I know. Little mini adventures all the time.
It's such a fucking funny duo, too. You're 1 feet tall. He's 8 feet tall.
I know. I think a lot of people think we're together. And in some ways we are, I guess.
I think of it as like the cartoon with the really little dog and the big dog that are friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the big dog's always, the little dog's picking fights and being mouthy, and then the big dog somehow.
Yeah. Well, I brought you up so we left to go to dinner, and it was really like, I was not.
Frazzled.
Yeah, I was frazzled, exactly, because of everything. And so I was feeling a little like, I could tell that I was getting annoyed. Mm-hmm. But it was because of this other thing. I just didn't feel good.
Yeah.
So I had to tell myself, don't take it out on Jess. Don't take this feeling out on him right now. He's the easiest person for me to take it out on. So don't do that. And I feel like I didn't. But then we got to the restaurant, and the server was so so nice, so awesome. And Jess was just being his gregarious. He was just being his gregarious self and being funny and making jokes. And I was like, why can't you just not have to do that? Why can't you just say thanks instead of doing this whole show?
Yeah.
And I looked at him and I said, it's so interesting that I am attracted, drawn to people who can't stop themselves from putting on a show.
That's right. I leave the house. It's showtime.
Yes, there are so many times we're sitting in here and I'm like, why are you not stopping?
Yes.
And it's the same thing with him. And it's clear that it's me that needs or likes it. Yeah. Even though on the surface I don't.
Yeah.
It's weird.
That is interesting. I'm thinking, of course, of the time I also was putting on a show. Because sometimes you're in and sometimes you're out, right?
Sure.
Like the time in New York City.
Out.
What?
I just tap out. I like it for a second, but both of you sometimes just...
Yeah, but remember my Suitcase bit in New York, which is probably the most extreme and obnoxious bit I've ever done.
That was funny to me.
And you loved it the whole time. I had a roll-on bag, or maybe we even had recording gear.
Maybe.
Because we were going around the city and interviewing people.
Yeah, it had wheels.
In any street we're on that had a slight decline, I would let the bag go, and then I would be screaming, my bag, and I'd be chasing it, but the bag wasn't going very fast, and I would let it go between people. And every single block, I would run and scream, my bag, oh, my bag. And then I would look back, and Monica would be half a block away laughing really hard.
I did think that was funny. I don't know what the line is.
But that was really extra. If you're just walking down the street and some guy's my bag, and he's chasing a bag that clearly he could catch.
Yeah, I know. I don't really know. Well, he does silly things like that don't... It's when it involves other people.
Yeah, maybe there's more exploration to get really granular about when does it tip for you? What is the exact thing? This is admittedly annoying. Admittedly annoying. But I think you enjoy this or you don't. Aaron and I lived Aaron would put on his baseball pants from 6th grade baseball and a half shirt that had a pony on it that was yellow that Carrie got me. And then I would be in an insane outfit and we would go to White Castle.
It was showtime.
Oh, White Castle.
And we had a pipe, we had chewing tobacco, we had playing cards, we had a radio.
Yeah.
And we would really just go, let's go be as weird as possible at this White Castle. And we just enjoyed it so much. And
you know
I think you do or you don't enjoy that kind of thing.
Well, oh my God, this is back to yesterday's fact check or last week's fact check with the three of us, where ultimately I think maybe I feel like, why do you get to do that?
Here we go. Here we go.
I think that's what it is.
Yes, because you were kind of trying to.
I had to.
That's right.
I had no option. There was no option for me to be like, my bag.
Although, the money, you have to admit, we don't know.
I know, you're right.
We don't know. But I definitely understand how you were like, I'm just trying to not get fucked with and called out and pointed at.
Being a
and you
weirdo is like the last thing
to
I
wear
could be.
6th grade clothes and I would wear the crazy hat that the Chinese people wear when they're picking rice. You know, I got it at a Salvation Army. It was like this, it was like 3 feet wide and be smoking a pipe. And it was so fun because from my perspective, there's something really fun about like, oh, here are the rules of life.
Mm-hmm.
But who's to say, what if you're not participating in those rules? And they're not like, it's not like we're pushing people or anything.
No, I know. You're not hurting anyone.
It's just like, oh, you're supposed to look a certain way. Well, let's see if you don't look that way.
Yeah.
It just kind of like wakes you up in a way that I've always found really, Carrie was very much that way. We would go into like 7-Elevens and we would have fake fights and stuff.
Yeah, like we would sit at the restaurant and what you're supposed to do is eat your food, but we'd be going,
oh, God. See, you say that's not hurting people, but I think it is.
We did some stuff that was
disturbing.
You're right. You were right. We did definitely ruin some people's. But I got to tell you, Monica, I do think I'm objective about this. We amused more.
Sure, I agree.
More people were really laughing at their booths, looking at us, trying to wonder, are these guys like, have they gotten out of a hospital?
Right.
Like, are the people looking for these two?
Why don't they have so much stuff?
And Aaron got punched over at once.
Oh, yeah, that was for making noises.
Yeah.
Once in a while, it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
Sure.
But for the most part, it does.
It's a high wire act. When it's working, it's really fun. And I think it's just a huge bonding thing. It's like some expression that like I myself can't go sit at White Castle with the huge hat on and all this stuff and make noises. I would be.
Well, you probably wouldn't chase your suitcase without Monica there.
I want it.
That's true.
There's like this declaration that like all these people might think I'm crazy, but because you know, and this is for you, and Aaron and I's was for each other, there's a very bonding thing about that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like as long as I have your approval, I'm willing to throw everyone else's away. And again, it's very indulgent and selfish. I get it. I can admit it. But it was also, I do promise it was highly amusing to most people. People thought we were funny.
I'm sure they did.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
I'm going to change gears.
Okay.
But Aaron and I have a favorite restaurant. We went to it last night with old friends that happened to be in town from Detroit.
Oh, fun.
Who witnessed many of these outfits. They're fully functional adults with a business now, and it's wonderful. It worked out for everyone. But this happens 1 in 4 or 5 times I eat at this restaurant. Where I go hard. By the way, I was thinking about what it was this morning, potentially. Did you eat any of the asparagus?
Mm-hmm.
You did? Okay.
I haven't gone yet.
Oh, okay. I also had a huge scoop of Metamucil before we went, fiber, because I knew I was going to eat a lot of steak. But anyways, about 4 minutes after we got done eating, I had to pee, and I'm peeing, and I think I have to I got to go sit down.
Yeah, you have Hannes.
Epic Hannes.
This is when we're together, it's been like, I think a 50-50 shot.
Okay, it's more like 1 and 2.
But, well, I mean, but I know you go without me, so.
And you don't experience it.
No, I'm jealous.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, I love watching it. Like, I love like really fast walking to the
Yeah, sure.
like it's about to start spraying.
Yeah. So it was
I mean, the meal has just left the table. Just got taken away.
yeah.
Right.
Fast Actin, Tinactin, to the point where I was like, oh, there was listeria on the
But not every time you go or have
and
to.
apparently not because you ate
Right.
the asparagus as well. Anyways, it's a epic thing. So come back to the table. I don't announce it at that point because our friends that are visiting, they don't know this pattern. I'm guessing Aaron might have put it, but I was very quick. Did you know the first time I went to pee that had happened?
No.
Okay. So then we're sitting there talking, and now we're wrapping it up, and I've paid the bill, and I'm thinking, oh man, I think I got to go in, but I'll be able to wait till I get home. And I'm like in the middle of a sentence, and I go, I got honest, and then
that was the one I noticed.
Then I really booked it to the back. Thank God the dining room was dead empty.
Oh, wow.
Went back in there. Wow, this is epic.
If there was a bathroom attendant, like you'd have to be like, dude, can you just here's $100? Can you just leave?
Yeah.
Walk up for a while.
Yeah. Oh, so no one was in there?
No one's in there.
Thank God.
But all to say, I come back to the table. Now we've only got 5 more minutes, and then we're out the door and we're in the car. And I was like, I pray I make it home.
Yeah.
3. Wow.
That's a lot. There's probably just something you're allergic to in
Or
that
it's just
food.
too much fat.
It was such a good meal.
It is.
Yeah.
We both get a ribeye and then we split the lamb chops.
Our friends split a ribeye. Yeah. We both had a ribeye and lamb chops.
Oh, God.
And left it all at the restaurant.
Yeah, a public bathroom situation, I don't like it.
Yeah, but sometimes Tonka.
Sometimes you gotta.
Sometimes your meal turns
But that
into
wasn't
Tonka.
a public bathroom. That was a
No,
private.
that was your private car.
This is for David Blaine.
Oh, wonderful.
And actually, Aaron was here
and
when David
like,
Blaine was
damn
here.
it, I wish I could have watched some of this.
I
Watched all the
know.
magic.
God, it was such a cool thing.
His show is awesome.
Yeah.
Don't attempt
I
this.
really want to. Yeah, do not attempt.
Do not attempt.
What's it on?
Hulu.
Nat Geo.
Okay.
But Hulu.
It's on Hulu too. Yeah, I watched
Yeah.
that last night.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Do you watch India?
No, I started with the first one where he puts the knife into his nose.
Oh,
He said don't. He said don't watch India.
Yeah, that's why I waited.
yeah. I guess you're supposed to build up to India, but I started with India.
Yeah.
And
Of
it's
course,
freaking wild.
Yeah.
Guys jumping onto big piles of broken bottles.
Fuck that.
Dude, a guy who's breaking this huge whiskey bottle over his
I
head.
don't know why, for some reason, I just have to watch it because the way both of you were talking about it is with such like horror.
Yeah.
And for some reason, that doesn't sound that bad to me. Is it because I'm Indian?
Oh, wow.
And
And
I
it just
like-
comes,
like
that's
know
very,
it.
it feels like a natural activity
Yeah.
to jump on a big
That is
mound of
like
broken bottles.
one of the worst things I could imagine.
Really?
I'm abnormally afraid of glass.
Yeah.
Oh.
Me too.
Yeah.
And all sliced up.
Oh, God.
I mean, I don't like glass, but it.
It just cuts so weird.
Why do you think when, like, I don't believe in Satan, but for some reason, when a magician is real good, I think
Dark
there's
arts.
Satan's involved. Like, all of a sudden, I believe in Satan.
You do?
Sure.
Yeah. Like, I'm like, oh, so he's Satan.
He's,
Instead of like he's Dumbledore, like a happy one.
but that's what historically people have thought, that they
Yeah, I
practice the
know.
dark art.
I go right there.
David signed a card for me that's up there that's really exciting.
Oh, yeah, David Blaine.
Oh, I see it. The Ace of Dimes.
Now, the really crazy thing he did, and maybe we should talk about it because it's not on video.
Yeah, it's not. We might be getting video because when David's publicist was here and she took video, so hopefully we'll get it. But yeah, there was a trick that happened after the cameras were off.
That was, think of a category.
Oh, that one. Okay.
I think that's the craziest one.
Oh,
How does
I
he
think
know what?
watch is craziest.
I don't, because, okay, he says, like, think of a category, Monica. Yeah, okay, great. It could be like food,
Anything.
nature.
Mm-hmm.
Now think of a specific thing from that category.
Yep.
And Aaron, listen to this and tell me this, how on earth this could be done. Okay, think of do you have it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I have it. Okay. And then how did he start doing the he was asking for states that start with vowels.
Yeah.
And he goes like, there's we have Ohio, and then he writes on these other vowels. And he wrote down these words, and he wrote down like 7 words or whatever.
Right.
And he's like, I don't know, and then Georgia, let's put Georgia on there. And then he goes, is this your thing? And he shows her a list of these 7 words or whatever it was. And she goes,
does this have anything to do with your thing?
Right. And she said,
like,
no.
But
And then he circled the outside thing and he said, does this? And it said gossip.
Because my thing was Gossip Girl.
She thought
out of
television
TV shows.
as a category. And then the specific show, Gossip Girl. And
and there was one more piece because it was like, think Gossip Girl, then give a clue. So like I had to say a clue to you. You were technically supposed to be guessing, and I had to give you a clue that wasn't a big giveaway.
And what was your?
And I said the Met, I think.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And
so I would think
like,
art, then I would think Picasso.
Yeah, and then I don't remember then how we got into him writing the words, but then it was gossip.
Yeah.
It was. I'm like, how does he know she thought of Gossip Girl? Out of the millions of TV shows.
And even TV, out of the millions of categories.
Yes. Basically infinite.
Yeah.
Every object in the world.
Yeah. It was scary.
What?
Yeah. And then, there was a card trick error where it was like, I wasn't even involved, this one, and it was under my watch.
Yes, I love that too.
I had picked the card. It wasn't that, because everyone I tell this to, they're like, did he hug? It's like, no. This was way late into the game. You maybe hugged when you walked in, maybe. But I picked the card during the trick, and then it's unfolded up under his
Well, let us not
Dax's
forget
watch.
that in his Netflix special, was it Netflix?
Yeah.
Harrison Ford, he tells Harrison Ford to pick an apple up out of the fucking fruit basket, cut it in half, and when he cuts it in half, the card's folded up in there that he himself had written, Harrison Ford had written his name on. Like, how does that?
He got it into the.
And how do you even get? Fuck it. Even if he said, "I'm going to put your card in this apple," and there'll be no evidence of it, I'd go, "That can't be done."
I know.
If that was the trick, and he got it inside of an apple, that would be plenty for me.
I know.
And then Harrison Ford cut the apple, and he goes, "Get the fuck out of my house."
He got so scared. It was great. It was definitely a
once in a
lifetime moment to get magic from David Blaine.
Wow.
One-on-one. Very, very cool. Okay, couple facts. Bobby Sands, he died in 66 days hunger strike. He was a member of the Provisional Irish Republican Army, the IRA. And he helped plan a bombing.
Yeah. Monica and I were talking about this, and I think this is a great opportunity to realize that you're racist. Because do you remember how you felt about the IRA?
I had no feelings about it.
Yeah.
Well, also, you're Irish.
Right.
I'm from a very Irish family.
Yeah.
But weren't you kind of supportive?
Always.
Yeah. And I was like, isn't that interesting? These are a group of men blowing shit up and killing people. When they're brown, I'm like, those are terrorists.
Right.
And
yeah, it's the same thing.
It's unfortunately, it's the same thing. And it's just, they're white.
Yeah.
And I think that's the difference.
That's insane. I
Yeah.
never thought of that. And by the way, I'm not in support of it anymore. But
Same.
But yeah, I
Yeah.
thought it was cool. I thought it was
Fighting the power felt like the
Yeah.
American Revolution.
Right.
I could
Rebellion.
relate. It's the same country we revolted from.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
But yeah, blowing folks up is not
Just
great.
give them their freedoms.
Yeah, right?
But then when you see, Al Qaeda trying to have their own state,
Yeah.
Yep.
their caliphate,
Yeah.
you're like, no, those guys are monsters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. After 28 days of fasting, he said you get a pear taste in your mouth, which we were kind of jealous of.
A pear taste?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what's the longest he fasted for?
He did 30-something days.
He was in a
or 40
glass
days?
box
Yeah.
hanging above the Thames
Right.
in England. And He just didn't eat for 36 days. There's no trick. That's just, he really didn't. He lost half his body weight.
Yeah, he almost died because then he went to the hospital after, and all his phosphate levels were like completely.
And you can kill someone by
dropped.
giving them food too fast.
Yeah, and
which is
they did.
crazy. But you start tasting pear, and we thought, that sounds
Delicious.
Yeah, if you hadn't eaten, and I'm expecting some really gross taste, like a
Yeah.
metallic taste.
That's what I was about to say, yeah.
Like you just say tasting your blood because your body's eating its blood or something.
Ew.
He did 44 days.
44 days.
That's why it's so funny because when he's talking about the
Crazy.
Indian guys who do the bottle over the head, he's like, he's shocked. And I'm like staring at him like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You didn't eat, you buried yourself alive. That's to me
shocking.
way crazier. Okay, so when
What is this alarm telling me to do?
Oh, you got one
that's
today?
a ding, ding, ding from last week. Both of you just letting your alarms run rampant.
I took a nap before this.
Oh, both were nap related.
Yeah, and I set it to the wrong time.
Oh,
Thank God I woke up on my own.
yeah.
Did Dax tell you about my nap that actually happened yesterday after we?
That happened.
I got a video. It's just great.
I fucking crashed hard. Like it was.
He goes, I'm going to skip the sauna and take a 20-minute nap.
Uh-huh.
And then 3 hours later.
No.
Oh, this is so great. I text him like, hey, time to go to dinner. And then I start thinking, I wonder if he read that text. And then I come out to the guest house and look at this. Look how his legs are.
I know.
His legs are.
His legs are splayed.
His feet are, the bottom of his feet are touching, and he's in, I guess that's a lotus position.
Exactly. That
His
actually,
hips are wide
I'm
open.
shocked that you could sleep like that. That's very flexible, actually.
It's impressive.
Yeah, and you're on
I
your
thought his
back.
hand was in his pants. It's under his pants, but I thought those were his underwear. There's his swimsuit. He had great intentions.
Yeah.
And then I said, it was like when, the time I tried to wake my Papa Bob up. I was like, Aaron, it's time to go. Aaron, it's time to go. And I'm like, oh my God, I got to touch him. So then I caressed his knee, and that got him away.
Oh, you didn't have to put washcloths over his face?
Thank God. No, but that's what I escalated to. But
Oh,
take
3 hours.
3-hour tour.
Little nap before dinner.
Did you have a hard time going to sleep last night?
No.
Oh, good.
Oh, wow.
I was a little
And
worried.
then you napped today.
Yeah, I got home from drop off. I did some like email stuff, and I was on my bed and I was going to get changed to go work out. And then I just thought, I have 2 hours. I'm going to sleep for one of the hours. And then that turned into, I didn't fall asleep for half an hour, and then I slept till 10:30.
Wow.
Yeah. And I kept laying there going, it's okay if you don't work out.
Yeah,
It's okay.
it is.
Your body needs a rest.
Yeah, it needed a rest.
You had traumatic
That
Honest last
is
night.
why probably.
Might be related to the Honest.
Traumatic evening.
Okay, Buster Keaton. So he said that there's a rumor that Houdini named him Buster, but that's been debunked. But it says that on PBS.org.
God, I trust PBS.
And I trust PBS.org.
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
So I think
Is PBS going to go away?
because of Trump
Yeah, I think it's on the.
chopping block.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I don't know what I'll do without Frontline.
He's a monster. Okay. Yeah, Joseph Francis Keaton got his name when at 6 months he fell down a flight of stairs, reaching the bottom unhurt and relatively undisturbed. He was picked up by Harry Houdini, who said the kid could really take a buster or fall. From then on, his parents and the world knew him as Buster Keaton. By the age of 3, Keaton joined the Family's Vaudeville Act, which was renamed the Three Keatons. For years, he was knocked over, thrown through windows, dropped downstairs, and essentially used as a living prop.
Yeah.
You could really take a buster, huh?
Yeah. They would put him in a suitcase and just chuck him into the audience.
So weird.
Oh, man. Great.
Oh my God.
You know, he was obviously during the silent picture days, and then no one had ever heard his voice. And then when talkies came around, he was in Sunset Strip or Sunset Boulevard, that famous movie.
Yeah.
It's the only time anyone ever heard him talk. And he's in a scene playing bridge. And he had this crazy low voice that no one was expecting because he was a little guy.
Oh my God.
Oh, man.
Okay, how many times did David Blaine do Stern? 8. He's done it 8 times.
Have you
At
heard
least
Blaine
8.
on Stern?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're very memorable, aren't they?
Yeah. That's what I was thinking about the water, too. That was on Stern. I remember they were sending, during his show, they were sending, like, Baba Booey down there.
Yeah. Fuck with them.
Yeah, they have fun with them.
Sure.
That's it.
That's it?
That's it for David.
Oh, okay. Well, that was really, really fun.
Love you guys.
Love you.
Love you.